part of the plumbing compartment we're going to talk about here. This is our 6-gallon electric water heater. And we're going to notice on the water heater, as I mentioned, the vehicle is winterized. And we'll talk a little bit about the procedure for winterizing. To get the pink RV antifreeze that you see in the lines here right now, the procedure is to first drain the hot water tank by connecting a regular garden hose. Actually, we've got a fill hose that we're going to see when we get over on the other side of the vehicle. You could even use that fill hose, connecting it here, opening the valve, running the 6 gallons of water out of the water heater, and then turning the bypass valve here, which allows us to bypass the water heater now that it's empty. We've got it bypassed in the position that you see there. And we're going to take this hose, take the cap off, insert this end of the hose into a gallon jug of non-toxic RV antifreeze. Go inside, turn on the water pump, open up the shower valves, open up the sink valves, maybe flush the toilet in there, and while the pump is running, it will then take and pump the RV antifreeze out of the gallon jug into the system, and you'll have RV antifreeze in all throughout the plumbing system. After that's done, you're winterized as you see it right now, and then when the weather improves, no longer going to be going below freezing, you can then, and you've made the decision to go ahead and put water in the system, or if it's still going to be below freezing, you've made the commitment that you're going to keep the heaters on and keep the plumbing compartment under here warm and use it in the winter time. You've got to make the commitment that 7x24, anytime that the temperature is below freezing, you're going to have a heat source here using these 2 heaters. You've got one over here, one that we'll look at over on the other side to keep this area warm so we don't have a freeze issue. When you are ready to use the system, you're going to drain out the RV antifreeze, fill it up with fresh water over on the other side. We'll show you how to do that, and you'll be ready to go. Once there is fresh water in the system, any mobile application that has plumbing on it, you've got stagnant water in there, and you need to sanitize it, especially the first time you go to use it, and then periodically thereafter you need to sanitize the system. The way to do that is to take about a half cup of household bleach and get that mixture of a half cup of household bleach to about 15 gallons of water. Get that into the fresh water tank. We'll look at that when we go over on the other side of the vehicle, and get the solution into the plumbing lines, opening up the faucet in the sink, turning on the faucet there in the shower till you smell the odor of bleach coming out. Then let that solution sit in the plumbing lines in the tank for a couple hours and flush it out, and that will sanitize the system, kill any bacteria, and improve the taste if you're going to be using the water to make coffee or whatever. That's what you do to sanitize it, and that's the procedure also to winterize it if you have a need to winterize it as it is right now. I mentioned the 2 heaters. Settings on the heaters, you've got a red switch here. I want to have this one set on, has a choice between 750 watts and 1500 watts. You're going to want to have it set to 750 and the thermostat all the way on clockwise to the high position. Having these heaters on, as we talked about earlier, will prevent a freezing issue in the plumbing under compartments. There's another valve that we need to talk about. That valve that you see all the way up in the rear there behind the water pump. That's the valve that allows you to have it draw the water out of the a gallon jug of antifreeze. The difference between the 2 valves, this one is the bypass for the water heater. That's the one that allows you to draw the water out of the RV antifreeze source. So right now they're both turned into position. That the last procedure that was done here was to winterize it, and those are the 2 positions that you'll have to winterize it. When you're ready to use the plumbing system, get the antifreeze out of there, you're going to turn them to the opposite that they are right now, and you'll be ready to use the plumbing. There's also a drain valve way in the back, that yellow handle, if we can get a shot way in the back there. That yellow handle is in a position right now to drain the freshwater tank. Freshwater tank is empty. ready to use the freshwater tank. When you put water in there, you're going to move that yellow handle so that there's an alignment with the tank over there, and it'll be in a closed position, ready for freshwater fill.